What's up, y'all? I wasn't going to do a video today. It's Saturday. It's 7 o'clock on the East Coast, United States. And I'm at work. Trying to get home in time to make it to see that Spence Garcia fight. But, man, I don't know. This video might not be for everybody, man. Because, I just, man, your boy just turned down $100 million, man. And, it made me think about, just how ungrateful people are for opportunities that they've been given. Like, how they don't even know how fortunate they are to even be in situations like that. And I know hard work had a lot to do with it, but, luck has a lot to do with it, too. I think when Anthony Joshua was I think on Sway or the Breakfast Club, one of them interviews he did, he was talking about how he was just fortunate to be born with the genetics, boxing genetics, and then it's hard work and all that too, but like just the genetic part, that part's luck. Right, and Wilder, regardless what we think about him, he has that. He's gifted, man. Like his stamina, even his heart, like his ability to fight back after he's hurt. All those attributes, all those characteristics. Gotta be. You gotta. You're born with that shit. The power he possessed, that's God given. That really is. That's something you can't train for. And it's like I was born with sickle cell. You know what I'm saying? And if anybody don't know what sickle cell is, you can look it up. There's different types, different strands, some worse than other. I was lucky not to be born with one, a really bad one, but sometimes I'd be in the hospital for a long time, man, 2 weeks at a time, sometimes and shit. I hadn't been in a while, but the shit do happen. And so like regardless if I would have had the heart, the work ethic, the willingness, I would have never been able to be a boxer, to be in a position where somebody's offering me $100 million to fight. I'm gonna be out here working my ass off for the rest of my life, and to think that you could have just said, not the money you got now, man. You might go through that in your lifetime. Fuck, leaving your kids something. $16 million, man, today's day and age, that's really not a lot of money. I mean, you're rich, you're a millionaire, but when you're talking about generational wealth and setting your family up and creating a legacy, I mean, think about this, man. It would be great. I don't have any kids, but if I did, right, and 60 years from now, my grandkids are sitting around still enjoying the fruits of my labor, still having all their needs met, having a good life, provide education, all that shit, and sitting around talking about, my granddad fought for the Undisputed Championship of the world, not once but twice. He might have lost both times, got knocked out in spectacular fashion, but he still did that. He's still a part of history, and that would never be taken away from him, man. And it just, it's just a shame that that's lost on Mr. Wilder, man. It's a shame that that's lost on his people, because he got a cheering section, the LDBC, or they're trying to say now it's Joshua's fault. They offered Wilder a two-fight with Joshua, exceeding $80 million, because I'm pretty sure he would have got some of the back end too. I mean, well, it's not a pay-per-view, that is right, but they offered him this money, 2-fight deal, and they're gonna say Joshua, Eddie. They think Eddie Hearn wanted it. They think Joan wanted it, but they don't think Anthony Joshua wanted to fight. Like, that shit is ridiculous because, and that's why Wilder turned it down, because Anthony Joshua still didn't want the fight. Man, if that's the best shit you can come up with, then just don't even come up with shit. Just tell the truth, man. Just say you don't want to fight him, because that shit sound even weaker than saying, yo, he just feel like he can't win that. I mean, that shit sound weak as hell, because if anybody has, that's free money, because the money would be guaranteed. So that means you'll fight Dominic Brazil, and if Joshua didn't want to fight you, I guess he'd have to fight two bums to fulfill the contract, and then boom, the bag is secured. But I doubt they'd have got two bums in place as Joshua. It would have probably been a tough fight. But either way, you know, and I think it's about ego too, man. Like, you done build up this facade. The WBC champion is the baddest man in the world, and everybody did whatever they had to do to build that and to set that narrative that, when that's not true at all, when it was a false narrative, it was all fake. But I think you started believing it, and now that the day of reckoning is here, you know, and reality is creeping, and you're seeing yourself for who you really are. And I think that's scary for Wilder to face that. I think facing Joshua, he got to fight. He got to face himself and facing Joshua. Because, like I said this in the video before, man, like, you know, and I gotta say it again, Joshua's everything he could have been, but wasn't. You know, I mean, with power like that, he could have, if he really cared, he could have trained. Imagine where Wilder would have been if he would have trained, if he would have actually wanted this, if he had actually embraced this lifestyle. Imagine how far he would have been if he would have actually wanted to work on his technique and get better and improve. Where would that boy be? I mean, it would be, then the fight with Joshua would be real. It would be a real threat. It would be a real, you know, this shit can go any way. You know, he could have been the one that brought the heavyweight division back. But instead, it was the UK. It was Eddie Hearn and Joshua that did it. He could have did this. And by facing Joshua, he got face the fact that he could have did it, but he didn't. He didn't have what it took inside to do that. And that's the scariest thing, and that's why I think he won't take this fight, because no amount of money in the world is worth Deontay Wilder facing his biggest enemy, and that's himself, you know, and it continues to be. The slave home owners, Al Heyman and Shirley Finkel, they don't give a fuck about Wilder. If they did, they would all tell him. Nobody that's making excuses for Wilder really give a fuck about him right now. Even against the Dominic Brazil, he can go in there and get hit and never wake up, you know. And for what? When you got a small window, you got to get this money and you got to get as much of it while you can. And the time it's going to pass them by. And it doesn't please me. It doesn't give me joy to say that Wilder's going to lose to a lesser opponent. You know, because as a fight fan, I want to see the best fight the best. This doesn't bring me any joy. I'm not going to be hooping and hollering and clapping and shit. Well, I will, but not for that reason. It would be for the fact that maybe, unless the belt goes to another PBC member, but it'd be the fact that maybe we can get some movement and get an Undisputed fight. That's what I would be excited about. It wouldn't be like, you know. But anyway, man, that's all I got, man. It's sad. It's sad, you know, that he can't see how selfish he's been and the opportunity that he's passing up, you know, to protect the image. So, alright, y'all. Once again, THC, we out. One. Oh, like and subscribe.